This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
And welcome into the Father's Day tournament here at the Bayshore. Finally, at the end, we started off with the U9 final between the Milton Mavericks and the stellar Wellington River Hawks. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Owen Sound. I'm Spencer Byers alongside Mike Harris. Mike, big game between these two sides. They've already played in their round robin where Center Wellington got the better of Milton 14-4. So we should see expecting sort of the same result, but we'll see again. Finals, you never really know when it comes to playoffs. And again, these are really young age groups, so score lines can definitely vary between games.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, right, with kids this age. It was 14-4 for Center Wellington, so kind of a dominant performance in that round robin game. But then Milton had a couple of good wins. So, you know, here on a Sunday morning, the kids have been at the hotel, they've been hanging around, and just the inconsistency of youth, you can't really ever predict what this game might be. You know, lots of people in the stands will be sitting there thinking this is Center Wellington's game, and it probably is theirs to win, and you can see the results on the screen. But Milton, you know, the kids will be ready to have some fun, and they'll go out there, and at this age, they forget things pretty quickly. So the Milton Mavericks aren't coming in here thinking, oh boy, what are we up against? They're just ready to play some lacrosse. So really anything can happen.
And that's the best part about these younger age groups is, again, you see there on your screen, the first game they played was a 14-4 win over Milton, and then you see 27-zip over the Owen Sound North Stars. That is a football score. And then you see Sarnia 13-3 as well, and then you go to get a chance to look at the Mavericks, who lost their first game, as we said, but then beat West Grey and Owen Sound 11-4 and 10-4. So, again, high-power teams here, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. And you saw some Milton was able to put up some offense in their next two games. So they lose the first one, and then they get rolling. But Center Wellington will be hard to shut down. I mean, this community, you're going to see as we go through today, you mentioned we starting with the U9s. We're going to see three Center Wellington teams today. Certainly some strength in that community in lacrosse. We know coming out of the winter, and Rogers certainly broadcast a bunch of games in the winter of their strong hockey teams coming in here playing against Owen Sound. So this will be a great game, and we'll just see if Milton has figured out any answers against a really strong Center Wellington team. Yeah,
there's actually three more after this one. They play in all finals but the U13.
Right.
So they are here all day long, are the Center Wellington. They are well represented here in Owen Sound. Owen Sound, as I mentioned, Mike, sorry to interrupt you, but okay. Owen Sound has two teams in two of the five finals have Owen Sound teams involved. So Center Wellington is the most well-represented of any, but Owen Sound does luckily at home have a couple of teams to cheer for later on this afternoon.
Yeah, and that really is an important thing here on a Sunday at the Father's Day Classic, having some Owen Sound teams represented. And we know the strength that exists in lacrosse here in our home community, and great to see lots of kids playing.
I do want to mention before the game gets underway that this tournament is in memory of Glenn Juniper, former Rogers TV commentator. I used to commentate beside Glenn. Miss him a lot. I know the Owen Sound community and especially the Rogers community would love to have him back. So I love having the memory of Glenn on that little pamphlet that I will be taking home and hopefully framing one day.
Absolutely. And Glenn was a coach of mine in minor hockey for a couple of years and a mentor of mine. So yeah, always great to talk about Glenn.
Yeah. I think a face-off violation will immediately send the ball going towards in favor of Milton, the Mavericks.
You will see Milton there in the dark jerseys, and in the light jerseys we have Center Wellington from Fergus and Elora. So Center Wellington, kind of a regional situation, Fergus, Elora, and communities around there.
Always nice to see the amalgamations as they continue to grow around as Center Wellington now with possession. Slowly up the floor they come, airmailed over, and it will scoot into the corner.
I haven't been able to get down here to the rink yet this weekend, but I'm interested to see how the 30-second shot clock plays with a U9 division where the precision of the game might not be there yet, Spencer.
It definitely will be interesting to see how fast these teams will be able to set up, as there goes a tumble right into the white paint, and the ball is whacked away, at least for the second. We'll see who comes out of the pile, and it will be Center Wellington. And the Riverhawks will get a chance to go forward. And I think the other interesting point about this type of age group is that there isn't really an offense or defensive players. It's kind of everyone plays every position.
Yeah, and actually I believe that's that offensive-defensive switch. If anybody was here or on Rogers TV watching the Junior B game last night, you see that, right? The offense-defense switch. But that's not allowed, I believe, until U17. Maybe it's U15, but they don't allow that until the older age groups. They want kids to develop all the skills and playing all positions, which is, I think, a positive thing in the long-term player development model.
Exactly, and then you can have players that can play both when they do get to the Junior B level type, as that ball is dumped all the way down to the Riverhawk zone. But the first one to it looks to be Milton, and that's Mason Cochran.
Yeah, he showed some speed down there, but it goes right to the keeper. And they're having a little mix-up there. They got it out of the crease now for Center Wellington.
And now here come those Riverhawks. Again, the other thing we're going to mention is there's a lot of Team 1 and Team 2s. This is Team 1 of Center Wellington, so they actually do have two teams as well here. And a couple other programs do as well, but that ball mishandled. The Riverhawks do retrieve, though, and here they come. Emmett Miller into the middle. Miller shot, scores, and Miller gets the game broke through for the Riverhawks.
He gets it started here for Center Wellington. You can see whether we get a replay up here or not. He picked up the ball. You'll see it here. It just cuts right through the middle. 4 Milton Mavericks all around him. And once he got by them, there was no other layer of defense left. And there was not a lot of chance there for the keeper, Heaton Moyer. That goalie was kind of left to his own devices. But you saw, at this age, you're going to see a lot of that bumblebee action, I call it, where the players kind of travel around together. And there were 4 Milton defenders trying to cover Miller there. Once he got by them, really, he was off to the races.
Yeah, it's kind of the follow the ball. Wherever the ball leads, you're going to see a majority, if not all of the players. But around comes Milton. That's Zach Gallagher. Gallagher shot. That one saved it off the bucket there of the Center Wellington keepers. The referee's got to check on it to make sure, and now the ball will go the other way.
Yeah, and you can see that in this age group of minor lacrosse. When that goes off the helmet of the goaltender, Lincoln Landoni, the refs just want to have a quick check and make sure he's okay, and he is, thankfully. A good save to stand in there and take that right in the beak.
And Reed Walker now for the Riverhawks will shoot from well out and score!
Up over the shoulder. What a shot. Heaton Moyer can't even reach that one. What a shot by Center Wellington. I didn't see Spencer who got that one off, but that was quite a shot. Right up over the top from far out.
We'll see if the great Mark Perry shows it to us on a second look, and he will. And I believe it was Walker who came the whole way and shot it.
Yeah, and from that, just as the defense was getting set up, he comes into your screen here. Really, right in amongst the trees, all the defenders of Milton were there, but he got that high shot off over the shoulder of Moyer.
And now Madden Ouellette tried to get that one into the middle. It will scoot. Does it go in the orange paint? It does, but then it will come out, and the Riverhawks will be able to retrieve until some body contact on defense. And it's just a possession change.
I don't know, 18 looked like...
he looked guilty.
Just a change of possession. You'll see that a lot in lacrosse, folks. Is one of the great things about it. Let's just reset and change possession and get going. You don't have to set up and waste a lot of time.
And that is, I think, the adage of the shot clock, is that it's not a penalty automatically. It's just a shot clock reset. That shot from well out bounced in, and it just goes wide. And that was Ouellette again. Into the corner it goes. Wilton trying to retrieve.
Good pressure from Center Wellington here on the forecheck, trying to get the ball back.
And it's wasting a lot of the shot clock. I'm not sure whose possession it was. And it will be now the Riverhawks. Obviously, it was possession to the listed away side. That ball airmailed over. It will go back behind the net.
Got the brother-sister tandem of Hunter and Taylor Stewart downstairs running the shot clock and the game clock, so they'll have things all figured out for sure.
And the ball is retrieved now by Milton, and they're going to try to get it out for the first time in a minute, but that ball will bounce, and it will stay inside the Milton zone. And here come the Riverhawks again, trying to get through.
Yeah,
Can't
Zach
get the
Gallagher
shot away.
trying to get through there.
That ball taken away, and here they come.
For a round ball, that lacrosse ball sure is unpredictable once it gets bouncing around on the concrete.
It definitely has its moments of coming off quite hot as that ball bounced through the stick of the Mavericks. And now here come the Riverhawks again. Right down the boards, and here they come. Stopped up. That was Zabian Crooks, pardon me.
Oh, a good ball control here.
Through 4 different black shirts. Did lose possession in the end, but now it's 2-on-5. And we'll see who comes out with possession.
It's a good battle in here by both teams trying to get that ball. Oh, and Center Wellington does come out with it. Oh, sorry, Milton did, yep.
And that's Cole Palmer who had possession of it. Couldn't get it out, but now they will. And that's Finley Ross, who's now trying to take it all the way. Ross around 1, 2, 3. Ross making a shot at the net. Bumped away. He does get a shot away, but it will go over.
Great job by that final defending level there to push him out to the outside. He couldn't get an angle for that shot.
That ball put into the middle. It is retrieved by Ross. Ross shot right into the chest and saved there by Landoni.
What a nice save. Just stayed square, came out and challenged the angle a little bit. And there's a good lacrosse save. You just kind of shuffle your feet, shrug your shoulders, and a nice save by Landoni.
Roman throws that one forward. O'Sullivan shot, one goes wide, tried to be retrieved. They will retrieve it. That shot scores! Crooks with his first, and that makes it 3-0 in favor of CW.
This is the U9 division, folks. I don't know, again, that there's anything Moyer could do there. That was up over shoulder again, right by Zier. You're going to see this shot. Crooks picks up the ball, has a look, and goes high. Unless that hits Moyer in the head, I don't know any way he's saving that one.
I'm not sure you're going to put it in a better spot, Mike.
Exactly. So 2 shots right up there in that top corner. And Moyer said, I need a little drink here. Let's slow these guys down. So Center Wellington is showing their goal-scoring prowess. They've put a lot of goals on the board this weekend. And Moyer's over there getting a drink, the goalie, knowing he's going to be busy.
And I do want to mention, I don't have a number 3 on Center Wellington who's had possession a couple of times.
I was looking at that too, trying to.
So I guess I'm going to have to do what I do for the Junior Bs and go down and check the game sheet before the game starts to make sure I've got the right rosters. I was hoping that these minor levels would have the correct jerseys, but I guess they are just like the Junior Bs. They've got a select number of jerseys, and they just hand them out before the game. But regardless, face off now.
Yeah. And folks, Spencer's doing a great job already, but we get these rosters 10 minutes before the game just because, teams don't know they're in it, and it's not a normal requirement for a tournament to be printing off rosters for us and for the Owen Sound Sports Hall of Famer Fred Wallace, who's up here in the booth with us too. So we'll get the names to you as best we can.
That we will. As Valier goes around, he's the leading goal scorer for this Center Wellington team. He's got 11 goals coming into tonight, and that's 11 goals in only 3 games.
That's a big weekend, Spencer.
It is, and his weekend's not over. And he surprisingly has been almost, I'll say, a non-factor. That's the first time I've said his name here tonight. So we'll see if he does have a little more of an impact as this game goes on. That ball bounced, almost mishandled, but Miller, who's already got one tonight, will come up the floor.
Yep, turns it back around, waits for a teammate to pass to it. It is Valier coming for it, isn't it?
And it is Tommy Valier who misses it, so now the ball will be able to go the other way, and it will. Quickly up the floor comes Casey Parker. Parker in, shot fanned on it, but that might have been a good opportunity as they're going to call an in-and-out call against Valier, and they're going to send the ball the other way. So Milton will get a chance to play it.
But Milton doesn't know it yet. Their players all went back to set up the house back on defense. So they're coming to figure that out right now. What an unfortunate little slip. Casey Parker had a great looking shot toward the net opportunity, but the ball rolled out of his stick before he could get it off.
Just can't get possession there in front of the net. But now here comes, the Winterhawks. They're going to call a slash there. And Milton will get the first minor of the game, as that's Linton Detzler getting the first minor. And I'd say a well-deserved one, Mike. Well-deserved.
Yeah, it can be difficult in this sport to know the difference between a penalty and just a good cross-check or whatever, but that was a little over the line, coming over top from behind. So you will see that now Center Wellington goes to the power play as Lincoln Detzler serves his 2 minutes.
I do want to mention this. Milton team takes an average of 8.7 penalty minutes per game, so that might be a first of many.
Yeah.
That ball gets airmailed into the corner, almost retrieved by Center Wellington, but we're not able to yet. They will now, and that is back to Ouellette. Madden Ouellette. Off to the elbow. That ball bounces, now retrieved by that infamous number 3. Right across, retrieve, but in the orange paint it goes, so Gross could not get a stick to it.
And yeah, again, we apologize to number 3's parents. You won't be hearing his name on the broadcast, but you'll hear his number and see him out there.
And again, with the shot clock now, it doesn't look like in effect, they will be able to chew most, if not all, of this power play. And that's a cross-check from the behind, and away will go Ouellette when they get possession of it. Now they will, so Ouellette will now go for 2 or less for the, I assume that'll be called the cross-check, but we'll see what the referee goes with.
I said earlier, it's sometimes hard to see what's a penalty. When you get them right in those numbers on the back of their jerseys, that's not a difficult one to understand as a penalty. So,
and it will be a 2 for the cross-check. And I do want to mention it is 2:15 periods of stop time here for the first and second with 3 minutes in between. So the clock is still running with this 4-on-4 now about to start.
So we're going to go 3 15-minute periods with no stop time, and then it's stop in the last 5 minutes if the game is within a certain number of goals.
I believe it'd be 5. Oh, actually, it's a 4 for, I assume that must be checked from behind then.
And they've got it on the wrong side of the board there, but it
is 4-on-4. As that ball bounced, I believe was saved there by Lincoln Landoni.
Yeah, so that player for Center Wellington received a hitting from behind penalty because it was clearly in those big numbers on the back of the jersey.
I guess I'm used to the junior Bs, where they always call that a cross-check and not a check from behind, but regardless, stolen. In, shot, fanned on it again, but another good opportunity for Milton.
And that might be the difference in the severity of the penalty too, Spencer. Maybe you call it a cross-check if it's only worth 2, and hitting from behind if you want to assess the 4-minute penalty.
Almost stolen, and it will be stolen. That's Jack Sykes, who fanned on it the last time. Sykes now around.
Nice
Sykes
move.
making a shot. Sykes will. It gets hit again. Sykes fanned on it one more time.
Zigzagging through there, Spencer. Sykes made some great moves getting through, but just got his stick knocked as he was about to take the shot.
And now again, that shot from a little while away, but again saved there by Center Wellington.
Yeah, Landoni standing strong in net for Center Wellington. It's not only can they score, they've got a good guy in the crease there for them.
And Broman will throw it forward, and it's now going to be a 3-on-0 if they can retrieve it. They could not, but lucky there. But now they will get away. In shot, that one just goes wide, and Center Wellington could not pick up the scrap. That was Crooks looking for his second. But again, retrieved here by CW, who are now on the man disadvantage. It's now 5-on-4 in favor of Milton.
It could have been a 4-on-0 there.
And now it's a 1-on-0 just about. In, shot, and that one right into the net there again of Landoni, who again stands tall.
Was that Sykes on the, no, sorry, that was number 5, McCodrum on the breakaway there. But you could see some great defense hustle back by by Broman for Center Wellington, put pressure on him, and he wasn't able to get the shot off he wanted. And another good save by Landoni.
Well, I'd say it's a big reason why this CW team doesn't allow a whole lot of goals, obviously.
Yep.
It's not just how powerful their offense is, it's how powerful their goalkeeper is. Is that ball being fought for? It will be stopped for the second, but a minute and a half left in the minor against CW, but they will have possession. Bounced into the middle, retrieved. Now it might be a 2-on-0, and around they come. That's Zabian Crooks. Crooks will stop up. It gets passed out of his stick, but it works to the front of the net. Shot!
What a save!
Moyer's able to get across and just get a leg to it. What an opportunity for McKenna O'Sullivan.
Yeah, Crooks got the ball over to her, but Moyer was equal to the task.
And an almost bad change leaves Palmer open. That shot over the net. Palmer almost had a free walk, but CW saw their change problem. There's only about 20 seconds left here in the period, about 40 left in the minor, so we'll see if there's one more opportunity in this period for the Mavericks. They might get one more, air-mailed into the middle. They got about 10 to shoot.
Oh, but they can't get this rubber ball picked up. What a frustrating thing a lacrosse ball can be.
And that ball is bounced over Gallagher, and that will be the first period you'd think, and it will be, as the Hawks come out 3-0 leading. Raiders after one.
Yeah, what a great period for Center Wellington. Really, they controlled the play. Scored when they had the chances, right? And you saw Milton had a couple of chances, but fanned on it, slid out of their stick. And then Landoni stood tall, made a few big saves, one right off the face mask.
Yeah, he did a great job, and I think Lincoln Landoni is definitely one of the big reasons why this Center Wellington team not only able to score a lot, but they only conceded 7 goals in their first 3 games, which for Lacrosse is amazing. Like, we don't talk about shutouts in Lacrosse. I almost saw one, might I add, for the Junior Bees. I believe it would be 2 seasons, or I guess technically 3 because of COVID, but 2 seasons ago.
Yes.
And it actually was by a buddy of mine, Caleb Martin, now playing in Whitby for the Junior A team down there with the Warriors. But regardless, they do have a shutout to their record. So Lincoln Landoni has a shutout at 9 years old, which, I mean, what an accomplishment. I would put find that score sheet and put that on the wall.
Well, and that's it. Lacrosse is not a sport where you're keeping goals out of the net. Right, you see scores of 14-11, 7-8-7, things like that are very common. Of course, Center Wellington piled up some goals in one of their games this weekend. We don't need to mention who that was against, with 27 goals. And especially at U9 when there's so many breakdowns and the kids are just learning the sport. So it is quite a thing to go through, even through that period, Landoni not letting in a goal. And there you can see Center Wellington coaches, and they're just going to say, keep it going, pass the ball. We saw a nice pass at the end there. Crooks got it over to O'Sullivan for a nice chance, right? As that defender kind of peels over to you, we saw a lot of times where defenders, all of them were going toward the ball carrier. And that's a time where these kids are going to start to learn now. That's where they need to pass it off, as opposed to trying to get through 3 and 4 defenders by themselves.
Definitely, and I do also want to mention, normally with, I'd say, the lower age group, especially a U9 age group, normally we see 1 or 2, maybe 3 players, like in minor hockey, where they're really talented, everybody else is kind of lagging behind them. But this Center Wellington team's got, I'd say, 5 or 6 players where every time they have the ball, they look dangerous, they feel dangerous, which I'd say is not something I'm used to, and I wouldn't say most other teams are used to, having so many different kids that you have to try to key out on, if you will, that it's kind of impossible to.
It's a good point you make, Spencer, right? At these younger ages, that the team that has the best player often is the one that is successful. They haven't developed a team game enough to shut somebody like that down. But this is pretty even across the board so far. Center Wellington players are sharing the ball. They're all looking dangerous. And we'll see how this second period goes.
I love the rough stuff here behind the play by Center Wellington and Milton. As you see there on the slasher.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of physical contact
Yeah,
there.
Mason
like
Cochran and number 3 trying to establish position.
But you got to love the intensity, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, U9 age group, 5-on-4 in favor of the listed away side, and not give it an inch.
Nope.
I like it.
The other neat thing about a tournament like this is these kids will have been able to watch a lot of lacrosse, older age groups, older kids, maybe from their own associations, and they can learn a lot in a weekend like that. Even just things like that. Get in somebody's space, get in their kitchen, and make it uncomfortable. Right? And those are things they pick up by watching older age groups or getting to a junior B game, whatever it is.
Or even, I'd say, a senior B game, which Owen Sound does luckily have one of the 6 senior B teams in Ontario. That ball airmailed, goes a little long. After it goes that infamous number 3. And he will retrieve, or I guess they will retrieve, before I get myself in trouble.
And look, there's that battle with Cochran again there.
And
the ball was actually involved that time.
Lucky, I think, for both, is now in come the away side as the minor has been over. So back to 5-on-5. That shot airmailed over, retrieved by the white shirts, and they will try to get it out, but they will not be able to on that attempt. The ball is still loose, however. Goss has a chance to retrieve, just could not. Still having trouble with this. Now in the orange paint, and Landoni saves that one, but thank goodness it will just scoot in front of the net, not into the net.
You saw Heward, who's been a big goal scorer for Milton, take that shot, try to go high, use that strategy Center Wellington has used, go high over the shoulders, and he just put it over the net.
And CW trying to get in, they will. That ball passed across 4 different shirts there. They will be able to retrieve it. That one's Blinkhorn. Blinkhorn through the middle. Blinkhorn going to take a shot towards net, it looks like. Blinkhorn gets taken down and almost lost it, though.
Yep.
Retrieve. Broman, fake. Broman shot, score!
Oh, up high again. A couple of spin moves in there by Blinkhorn and just lost the ball, but thankfully picked up by his teammate, Broman, who has made no mistake.
Wyatt Broman scores and goes right back to the face-off circle. I like his style.
Yeah, let's just get this ball dropped again. You can see here, slips a couple of checks, and actually slips a check from his teammate, and then over the blocker side, I'll call it, Spencer, another high shot, taking advantage of the space up in the top half of the net.
Yeah, McKenna O'Sullivan.
Here's Broman again with it, but loses it just after the face-off.
O'Sullivan with a borderline pick there, but now here comes Milton with another opportunity.
And Heward, this is their big goal scorer. Oh, and Heward tries to go high again, but just misses over the net.
And had space for it, as on the other side of the net there was Landoni, so I guess lucky for Lincoln, that ball went the other way, or just went over, pardon me. As that ball airmailed, can it be retrieved? Parker O'Sullivan tried to pick it up. He takes a shot, and they will give possession the other way.
Yeah. No penalty of that one. That's simply a change of possession.
Or a keep-up possession, as now shot. That one just bounced wide by Parker O'Sullivan. CW, though, will be able to retrieve it. Takes a bump there was Crooks, who loses it. It's bounced now. Crooks able to retrieve it again.
Is battle over by the Tim Horton sign. And look at that, center Wellington comes away with it again.
They're going to get a shot away, and that one's sticked away by Moyer, but they are able to gain back possession immediately, and that's Broman, who got the most recent marker for the Riverhawks.
Look at him weave through here.
1, 2, 3, 4, passed in. Will they be able to get the shot away? They will, and it goes just wide there for Crooks.
Yeah, Moyer made a save on that first one. That one I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or just went wide, but nice to see Moyer having a chance to make some saves after those 4 get past him and 3 in the first period.
Blinkhorn tried to center, could not, at least at the moment, so that ball will bounce around. I believe they stopped the shot clock, so they've now decided that U9 does not need a shot clock.
Yeah.
Which I do agree with, to be honest with you,
well,
but
we kind of mentioned it earlier, didn't we? Are they going to get organized in enough time for it to be worthwhile?
Or keep possession long enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
As now here come Milton, and they will lose possession, but will able to keep it as overran it did CW.
Broman's, we talked about that, those couple players in each team, and Broman has been that in the second period. He stood out to me. The ball seems to find him.
And Heward puts that one just
nice save by Landoni on that shot from Heward.
And that ball will just roll out, so picked up by that looks to be Wyatt Broman.
Yeah,
who's still on the floor somehow. I think he's been on the floor for the entire second period so far, as Broman takes a bump. Broman will fire, and it's going to go the other way.
And I'm not sure why that change of possession happened there, but Broman we can see with his red shoes, so that's a nice little indicator we can't see numbers all the time.
And that ball is taken immediately away by CW. That's Emmett Miller, who got the first marker for the CW here today. Turned over, however, inside the zone, and Milton will have a chance to set up here, will the Mavericks. Around the top, takes a whack shot, but got stick whacked before he was able to shoot.
Looked like kind of shrugged his head there. Might have got a stick to the chin, an accidental stick to the chin. Looks to me that Milton's hanging on to that ball a little too long, and then they're getting their stick whacked just as they go to shoot it.
And now Valier, who's got quite a few markers here for CW, in alone. Valier shot right into the chest, and they're going to call a minor, and it's going to be a slash against Milton behind the play. So I wonder if Mark was able to get a look at that, Mike, because I definitely did not.
And so that's where I'm not sure if that was a slash as the ball Valier ran past, or one that was totally in the rear of the play. Regardless, Milton is going to be shorthanded.
And we're waiting here for the referee to get started.
Oh, look at that one right there in the back.
Yeah, by Jordan McNair, who does sit for 2 or less.
Good catch by the camera people and Mark Perry. Lots of people that work here at Rogers TV, so John maybe got that one on his camera, but that's a good replay. Thanks, everybody.
That ball passed, mishandled there by Milton, but they won't be able to retrieve it, you'd think. Ball is still bouncing around, and it will be recovered. And then immediately given right back here. Valier takes a bump. Valier loses possession. And Milton might be able to retrieve it here deep in the zone, and they're going to give possession to the Mavericks here.
Feet got tied up there. Valier just trying to get that ball back from McCodrum, and just their feet got tied up.
Again, Valier's got 11 goals for this undefeated CW team as that ball rolls into the crease.
That was some speed that he showed on that last breakaway, and just a good save by Moyer.
And now again, here comes CW, taking a couple bumps here. Will lose possession, ball bouncing around. I was gonna say, there are only right now 4 CW players on the floor, and away come Milton because of the late change. Ross in, shot, scores! And Finley Ross gets Milton on the board.
A great play. You could see the angle that Ross was running on so the defender couldn't get to his stick, keeping the ball and the stick on the outside, and that defender chasing him down could not get there. And it also pulled Landoni over to his left side of the net to clear off that whole side. So you can see here, keep that ball to the outside, just can't reach it, and opens up that net, and Landoni can't get back across in time. Nice goal there by Finley Ross. And let's see what that does to energize Milton. They're not out of this. That's a shorthanded goal. It is only 4-1 here for Center Wellington.
That's a great point, Mike. It was a short-handed goal as well. It wasn't even 5-on-5. So we'll see if that does build a little bit of confidence here for this listed away side. There's a couple bumps. Will get away there is Zach Gallagher, and Gallagher still got possession somehow.
So Gallagher's in, hang on to it, and kill it mode, and they are even now. Killed the rest of that penalty.
And he is taking a beating for his trouble. By just about every white shirt on the floor. That ball rolled, retrieved. Detzler now through the middle. Detzler looking for an effort at the net.
And
that shot scores! Detzler!
Posting in for Detzler. Here we go. Milton is not going away here, folks. That all started with great play by Gallagher off of the faceoff to kill time until they got their teammate out of the penalty box. And you're going to see Detzler get this ball after a bit of a scramble. Use his size coming across, and look at all the Riverhawks shirts, but nobody can get a stick on it, and puts it back over the blocker side again of Landoni. What a shot there by Lincoln Detzler to make it 4-2. Milton is on the rise, folks.
And possession will stay with Center Wellington after the face-off, and that would be Wyatt Broman. Broman, who's been had quite an eventful second period. Broman now shot, scores!
Yeah.
Number 2 for Broman.
Wyatt Broman says, that's enough. That's enough. Just give me the ball. I got to calm down these fans here in Owen Sound. Broman makes quick work of restoring a 3-goal lead for Center Wellington. Basically, in a sense, win the face-off or whatever, get possession of it, and just goes right down the middle and finds, instead of going high this time, kind of almost that bouncing shot to the left foot of Moyer.
Yeah, I'll get a chance to take a look at it as Broman wins the face-off again. And that one does go low. Broman in again. Broman takes a bump. Broman puts that one just wide. Broman looking for a third. Now retrieved behind the net. That's Blinkhorn. Blinkhorn throws it out for O'Sullivan. That's McKenna O'Sullivan.
Back to Broman, yep.
Broman takes another bump. Broman scores! Same spot, Mike, and it's back to 4 goals for the home side. He'll go right back to the face-off circle. I love the attitude from Wyatt Broman.
Broman just puts it right by that left knee again. And, you know, lacrosse goaltending is, again, we talked about it briefly, all about kind of shuffling across, making yourself big. Of course, these kids aren't that big yet. But what a spot back kind of against the grain there, this shot from Broman. And a great pass by McKenna O'Sullivan right into that center, the middle of the floor. And you can see Broman moving one way and puts the ball back the other way. What a great shot.
And again, Broman is the face-off taker for CW. And the face-off is won by CW. And here comes Crooks, who's got one. Crooks around. Crooks all alone. Off the post.
Yep. Moyer stood tall there, and his best friend, the post, helped him out.
Gonna have to say a thank you after this one. as fighting for it now, and that's a, I'd say, big hit there by Broman, who takes a couple bumps, and they're going to call a high stick there against the away side, and it will be another minor for Milton, as back to the power play will go the Riverhawks with about 3 to go in this second period.
And is this the second penalty for Hunter Brink?
I believe so.
So Hunter Brink went in there kind of almost to stick up for his teammate. Didn't like the hit that Broman dished out on the side. And so Brink goes and gives him a high stick to try and stick up for his teammates. But in the end, this gives the high-powered Center Wellington Riverhawks team a power play, which maybe isn't a good idea.
Yeah, and I do want to mention there that Brink has the most minors coming into tonight. He has 8 penalty minutes coming into tonight. So obviously a little bit of a goon, if you will, but maybe just sticking up for his teammates like he was there.
Yep.
As, again, Milton on the man disadvantage. Will try to throw it forward. That ball bounced and retrieved.
And they have a shorthanded goal, and here we go again.
Whoa, that was a rocket just over the net.
What
No
a move.
opportunity. Ladani would have had no opportunity at that one if that was on target. Look, another chance. That shot scores!
That Tommy McCodrum got his own rebound back, and their second shorthanded goal of the game. So McCodrum got the ball, took it down the floor, that wicked spin move, and rifled it over the net. Great example. Don't give up on that ball. Go get it back. You keep your feet moving. You're going to get it back. Comes all the way to this post. Wins that battle against Valier. Goes across the middle. And then puts it back across the grain. Again, moving one way, shoot it back the other way. That's hard for that goalie to change directions and go back. And anytime you can get the goalie moving, it's going to open up some holes.
Definitely is. You saw there Ladani was not happy to let that one up. Obviously wanted that one back, as now again comes CW off the face-off win. That one was by Madden Ouellette, who's now got possession of it.
And they still have the power play.
They do, and that shot bounced into the keeper.
By Moyer.
And I believe it hit his mask, so they're going to give possession immediately to Milton, who airmail it. Going to retrieve it, there is Center Wellington. Ouellette could not get a stick to it, so having to retrieve it all the way down will be number 3.
And that's the penalty killing strategy, I think, right there, Spencer. Fire it down the floor.
And see if someone can catch it.
40 seconds left in the period.
And only 7 left in the minor. As again, fighting for it there on the boards, and there's going to be a whistle, and possession's going to stay with the White Shirts, but the minor's over. We'll see if they can get the player out of the box. That ball airmailed past.
Oh, the poor guy couldn't get the door open here at the Harry Lemley Bayshore Community Center.
I was hoping the referee would let him out, but now again, possession still with Milton. They're going to, looks like, just chew the rest of this 9 seconds or so. They will fire it up, and that looks to be the period. We'll see if they get an effort here right at the very end. They might. It's shot, and it will go well wide into the corner. As Stetzer looking for his second.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
A definitely productive period, Mike, for the away side.
So interestingly, we had a 3-goal lead for Center Wellington after the first period, and we've got a 3-goal lead here still for Center Wellington. But I think in the end it's a positive for Milton. They were able to get some goals on the board. They haven't gotten any closer, but they didn't get any farther behind, right? 2 shorthanded goals you don't really want in the penalty box, but Brink is letting Center Wellington know that he's here to play and he's going to stick up for his teammates. So I think the coaches there from Milton are going to be saying exactly that. Hey guys, we put some goals in behind Landoni. We showed we can score. Now let's just get a couple more. Let's stay out of the penalty box and not really give them any more chances. So yeah, we'll see what they come out with. Center Wellington coaches, you know, they're not going to be that concerned. They're still up 3. They're getting lots of chances. I mean, they're going to be saying maybe give the ball to Broman and let him go to work. But what a period he had. But again, if it's not him, there's 4 or 5 others. That whole team at Center Wellington can get the job done. We haven't really heard from Valier yet. So that name could come to the forefront in the third period.
Leading point getter and goal scorer for the Riverhawks, 11 goals, 16 points. And I do want to mention that Broman, I guess, realized the cameras were on, Mike, so he had to show out with the cameras on, as Valier, again, has no goals. I'm not sure if he has an apple here tonight, but regardless, you know, you got to appreciate that these young kids are on the TV, are on the big screen, if you will, so maybe trying to show up and show out.
Well, you can see the sweat on that player for Center Wellington there. This is a hot sport. It's hot outside. I know it's only 9:40 in the morning, but it gets hot down there at the J.D. MacArthur Arena. And I was feeling bad for Brink there trying to get back on. You said if they can get him back on the floor out of the penalty box, I get to play lots of hockey here at the Bayshore, and these doors can be tricky. Those latches can be tricky. So to get, these 8-year-old kids, 7-year-old kids down there trying to open the door, that can be pretty tricky. So he's stuck in there for a few extra seconds.
Luckily, didn't cost them at least.
No, that is true. In fact, as we said, Center Wellington with 2 shorthanded goals. I don't suggest that as a strategy going into the third period, but they know that they can score. They know that they can get things done if that does happen.
And normally when you score a shorty, you'd think that off 5-on-5, they'd have an advantage.
Yeah.
So that also is definitely a confidence booster.
Yeah.
As we are now back out both us.
You can see Broman go right to the face-off dot. He goes to his spot.
I did want to mention, CW came out about 45 seconds early. Milton came out about 30 seconds early. As the referees took the whole 3 minutes to take a breather.
Well, and we should give a shout out to the officials. We know every sport right now is struggling to get officials and have the right numbers. But these tournaments, these games don't take place if we don't have good officials. So I'm sorry I don't know the names of these two that we can pass on to you, but just from the whole organization, we want to thank the officials for their time. Yeah, they get paid, but a lot of them do it simply to stay involved in the game and because they love it.
Definitely, and again, without them, we wouldn't be able to have a tournament like this. But anyway, here comes Heward. Heward shot, scores, and
here we
Milton's
go.
Not gone away just yet.
I mentioned Heward in that second period or first period, can't remember, but this is a key goal scorer for Milton. And you saw Sullivan actually got a whack on that stick just as Heward was about to shoot, but that shows how strong this young kid is. You can see takeoff here about even, and then just turns on the jets. But look at O'Sullivan chasing him down. She gets a whack on it right there. Still able to get the shot off, and Landoni does not like it when the ball goes by. And you know what? That little whack, that may have mixed things up too and changed the shot, made it difficult for Landoni.
Yeah, might have changed the angle of it, as now Vallier will get a chance to go the other way. Vallier looking for a pass.
But didn't have the ball.
Looked like he fanned on it.
Yep. Fell out the top of his stick.
Gotta hate when that happens. As that ball thrown forward. And Vallier tried to retrieve it, just could not. And it will go the other way. Takes a bump.
We don't have a number 18 for Milton either, folks, so we can't tell you who that is, but he had the ball.
And now Emmett Miller in all alone. Miller shot off the helmet, and possession will go the other way.
And so again, a breakaway, but these defenders are not giving up. Coming back there was Finley Ross, who's a goal scorer here today, and changed that shot, hit the stick, and then Moyer says, I got it. My parents bought me a good mask. I may as well use it. And takes it right off the chin again.
Matheson Heward. Around he'll go. Passes it off. Ball bounces, and CW looks to be retrieving it. Takes a whack, however, and that ball is still loose and now retrieved by the white shirts. Pass forward, and now it is Vallier. Tommy Vallier will try to get around. Will probably have to pass it.
Yep.
Takes a bump, though, into the boards, and looks like he'll lose it, and he does, and now he'll go the other way.
Heward did a good job there keeping Vallier outside. Heward, as a goal scorer, knows where you want to get to score those goals. Didn't let him.
And now down is a player for the home side. That shot, and saved by Heward there. And what a save there for Landoni, as down is Giorgio Lucchesi.
Yeah. And certainly nobody likes to see this, and you can see Giorgio there holding his leg.
It looks like hamstring.
Yeah, so we'll just see here. Kind of just got feet tripped up with, oh, here it is.
Tried to throw a big hit, and then probably got a knee, it looks like.
From his own teammate.
And probably a Charlie horse, it looks like. Emmett Miller and Giorgio collide, and you see again there grabbing his right leg. And Giorgio will limp off.
I think you're right there where he's putting his glove. Probably looks like got a Charlie horse, got a knee right to the thigh. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out. Hopefully Giorgio's able to get back on the floor. And lost in all that was a huge save by Landoni. If Heward scores on that breakaway to make it 6-5, you can see it here.
Again, with that just missed check by Giorgio, left Heward all alone almost, but a great save by Lincoln Landoni keeps this game a 2-goal lead, and now we'll have a face-off here between these two sides. And again, I do want to mention number 3 battling there in the defensive zone with whatever player is on the other way. It looks like Cochran again. They've been well acquainted here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, I wonder, if an older age group, maybe they'd be making dinner plans or something, but who knows what they're talking about there. But you love to see those battles.
Ouellette will throw it forward. It's blocked, but not kept. And CW takes a bump. That was Reed Walker.
I love to see this. Milton isn't going away. 6-4, and they've had some good chances already this period.
And taken away again, that's Walker. Reed Walker takes a bump, takes another one. Walker shot saved there by Moyer.
Really good job by Milton defense there. Again, pushing Walker out to an angle that's not favorable, and then it became a fairly easy save for Moyer being in the right position.
And then Reed Walker gives up possession there with the extra couple whacks. And now here comes Milton, and that's Sykes. Sykes does a little spin-a-rooney. Takes a bump. Sykes still with possession. Pass to where he came.
Oh, you can't let, I've said it lots of times, you can't let that ball bounce.
Gallagher is able to retrieve it, however, and get the shot away, but it just goes wide. And mishandled, though, by CW, but they are able to retrieve it.
Let's see what Center Wellington has for an answer here. Last time Milton got this close, Broman went to work and got them back in the lead in a bigger way, so we'll see. Broman is on the floor here.
I don't know who's got possession of it. Now I do. It happens to be Blinkhorn. Blinkhorn shot, and I saved there by Moyer, but Blinkhorn's got a hold of it again. Blinkhorn thrown into the middle. Takes a bump for his trouble. Crooks shot. Scores! Crooks does get in.
Yep, I had to pause there for a second too, Spencer. I couldn't tell whether that hit the post because it came back out really quickly. So this is what we were talking about. Reestablishing that lead.
And Broman pointing something out. I'm not sure exactly what he was.
No.
I do want to mention that the clock did stop there for a second. It's now back to running.
So let's see this replay here. Another great job by Mark and the people in the truck.
I mean, that's a perfect spot.
Post, and then it looked like it got the mesh on the far post and in and came back out real quick. Perfect shot by Blinkhorn.
As Crooks.
Oh, sorry, was it Crooks that scored that?
Yes, it was.
Sorry, I'm saying Blinkhorn. Yep, Crooks.
And that ball bounced. It got blocked there. Broman again looking for a fourth. And down goes a Milton Riverhawk, and the whistle will go now.
That might be Mason Cochran. There's a 3 on there.
It actually looks like 13 there, Austin Cooper.
Okay.
And Cooper is not really moving, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. So we'll see what the replay shows us here. As again, I missed that one as well.
Yeah, well, the ball's bouncing around, and that was a dangerous bouncing ball toward the net. Here's the play here. You're going to see 13 to the middle of your screen. Has the ball. And then it's going to get tripped up with O'Sullivan there.
And we'll see. Yeah, I wonder what exactly got caught there.
I think to me that looks like when he fell, the knee banged the cement. And I remember, like when I was growing up, I didn't really play lacrosse, but a lot of my buddies wore like volleyball knee pad type things, which I would not begrudge anybody for doing that out here on the concrete.
Oh, if I ever played lacrosse, I'd be wearing every piece of equipment they allowed me wear. Knee pads, arm pads, girdle to cover the belly. I wear everything. As possession will stay with CW. Right now it is Wyatt Broman to keep possession, and the clock will start back up. Broman, airmailed to McKenna. O'Sullivan just couldn't retrieve it.
Looked like it hit the stick, but just bounced out.
And nice check there by Wyatt Broman. Being felt physically, he's going to take a whack back and going to get whacked again for his trouble.
Who wants it? Who wants it here? Bouncing ball.
And it is put up and will be retrieved, you'd think, by CW, but they're just not able to get a handle on it.
No.
Neither team seemingly can, but now it is picked up.
It's in the stick.
But
Not
immediately
anymore.
forced into the boards and lost possession of it. Ball again, still bouncing around. That ball now rolled and picked up by Zabian Crooks.
Yeah, Crooks is going to keep track of it to Broman can't catch it.
And Broman now having a little bit of the drops, as now Broman will retrieve it again. Broman just airmails it towards the net. Caught and taken away there by Detzler. And around the net they come, and that is Detzler.
Yeah, we've heard that Detzler name not for a little while, but he's had his imprint on this game.
And he'll hand it up there to Heward. Heward takes a bump from McKenna O'Sullivan. Heward, though, still with possession, gets his stick in as he went to pass.
And can O'Sullivan get this?
And yes, she can. And Xavier Crooks was there as well, but immediately picked up, and that would be Broman. Broman through 1, through 2, around 3.
Holy.
Around Heward he goes, but will lose possession, and you think Milton's going to be able to retrieve it, and they will. Takes a whack there, was Finley Ross. Ross passes it, and that's Heward. Heward around 1, 2.
Oh, has a teammate wide open in the slot.
Does look for the pass, just could not retrieve it. There was
McCodrum just couldn't quite get the stick on that.
Pass, and now it is Tommy Vallier. Vallier's got a streaker well up, and that is Madden Ouellette, who just could not find. Now Vallier's going to turn back to where he came, and he'll go around, and Vallier's now got lots of space. And Vallier's just going to turn on the afterburners. Lots of players behind.
Nice
He'll pass it. Shot scores. That's a rocket from Madden Ouellette.
Great pass by Vallier, who did a lot of the running there. But then a better catch by Ouellette, right? Like we've seen a lot of those long passes not be caught by the players, but catch it, quick stick handle, right in.
And that restores the 4-goal lead Milton had earlier tonight. And as you mentioned there, that was textbook by CW. So they're going to do a water break here about halfway through this third.
Yeah, water for the goalies. I mean, they're in there in that big equipment. That'd be enough for me, again, not to play goalie in lacrosse. That equipment is huge and hot. So nice option for them to get to the bench and get a drink.
I want to mention Lincoln Landoni has not gone to the bench once yet. Moyer's there getting his second drink of the night, but Lincoln Landoni's like, I'm ready to go. I don't need no drink.
Lincoln the Camel Landoni does not need any water.
But thank goodness for me, I'm allowed to have water breaks all night, or I would be pooched.
Yeah. Oh, look, now you can't see it there on your screen, folks, as they line up for the face-off, but there's more pushing around and shoving and stuff.
And that's Gallagher against Ouellette. Ouellette's able to win it for the second, but possession is not gained. But now it will be by CW. That ball fired, and it's caught there by Vallier. Tommy Vallier around the edge. Shoots, scores! Tommy Vallier! And look at the celly after. Love the style points as Vallier gets himself on the board for the first time tonight.
And that's up over the shoulder again of Moyer. He can't go up and get that. It's just a perfectly placed shot. I'm sure that's what the coaches are talking about. Put the ball up high. You'll see this. Vallier, not a great angle to shoot at, but Moyer can't get to that.
And you see there with the high step.
Apparently he's had some practice with those Spencers, those Sellies.
His 12th of the tournament.
You could see the sticker on Vallier's helmet of Center Wellington Fusion. That's their hockey program. I'm sure he's quite a hockey player as well.
Usually lacrosse does translate and vice versa with hockey. As now Walker, that shot saved there by Moyer, who I do want to give respect to. Moyer has made some pretty big saves here tonight.
Sure has. Again, 9 goals. That's lots of games you're winning games, 15-9, whatever it is. So.
And to think they conceded 14 at the start of this tournament does show the improvement they've made over the weekend against this same club on Friday.
And here goes Milton again.
And that's
Sykes.
That's Sykes for the away side, but immediately whacked and taken away, and that's Ouellette there. Madden Ouellette in the last line of defense. That ball bounced. Will it make it to the orange paint? It almost does, but taken up by Sykes. Sykes on the wrong hand has to try to give it up or switch switch his hips, and he does switch his hips. Past Heward. Around, trying to get to his forehand. Heward takes a bump, and Matheson goes down, but still has possession of it.
I was just going to say, able to keep the ball.
And Matheson shot, and that one's gloved away by Landoni.
Not necessarily textbook to use the front of your hand to make that save where there's no padding, but nonetheless a great save by Landoni.
That ball passed. Trying to pick it up there was Madden Ouellette. Ouellette does pick it up, and he'll get around. Round one, round two, gets bumped down by the third, and that will be a minor.
He lost
a shoe to boot. And they will blow it down, and as he'll run off with the shoe in hand, and that minor might spell the end for this Milton Mavericks team. Is away will go Finley Ross for 2 or less, with I believe it'll end up being a cross-check or a slash, but we'll see what they call it. Starting with it will be Wyatt Broman, and actually it looks to be a tripping call.
It's Heward that gets the penalty here. Matheson Heward goes to the penalty box.
And that is a big loss, Matheson Heward for this Milton team, not only for the 2-minute minor, but he's one of the more offensively talented players. But now Broman, around one, round two, that shot airmailed, but caught. That one just goes wide for Blinkhorn.
Yeah, Blinkhorn real quick off the boards and just can't find the net.
McKenna O'Sullivan gets beat there. And now here come the away side again, Detzler.
Why not another shorty here, Spencer?
Detzler shot. That one just goes wide. They're looking for their third shorty of the night. Half their goals have already been on the man disadvantage, on the PK.
18 with it, can't get loose.
That one stolen by Broman. What stick work there by Wyatt Broman. Broman in all alone. Broman loses it, but gets it back. Broman bounces it just high.
Is that just a fake, I think, Spencer, just to get people...
He pulled off the Kucherov.
Yeah.
As that ball still kept in for Broman. Broman shot off the crossbar. Picked up, though, by McKenna O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan shot. That one just bounces high, and it'll go the other way.
So that must have got the face mask of Moyer on the way by, too, that bouncer from McKenna O'Sullivan.
That ball airmailed, and it will go right into the bench, so possession will go the other way. And they will get their line change, will the Riverhawks. As they're waiting somebody to pick up possession. I'm not sure who's got it. It was
Looks
Valier.
like Valier.
And Valier around.
Nice pass.
Passed in front. What a pass shot. Scores, and in the perfect spot, number one, for Reed Walker.
Yeah. What a pass by Valier, as you could see him as that second defender slipped over to him. You saw him out of the corner of his eye. See Walker out front, and just used the term earlier, switched his hips and made that nice. You watch right there. A defender gets to him, turn those hips around, and there's Walker right in that open area. Makes no mistake.
And it was basically a one-timer, which I would say is quite well coordinated by a U9 team to be able to get a one-timer away on the power play. I believe that's the first power play marker of the night for either side, but face-off is won by the away side. Now in comes Ross. Ross shot. That one just goes wide, and that's the story of the game for Milton. Possession now for Center Wellington. Emmett Miller had possession. Miller still got it. Miller takes a whack. He'll fire it. It just skips by Parker O'Sullivan and will scoot into the corner. It's going to go into the orange paint. It's retrieved by Moyer, who's just going to try to hand it off.
You wonder if we got some twins, McKenna and Parker O'Sullivan. Or of course, these are double birth years, so they could be cousins, brother, who knows, or not related at all. But and then the head coach of Center Wellington is Jeff O'Sullivan, trainer Jamie Ouellette, assistant coach Kyle Goss, and Derek Landoni. So, you know, the coaches put in a lot of time for these teams too, and deserve a lot of credit and recognition.
That ball bounced and retrieved, you'd think, there by CW, and they will as they try to dump it. Caught, though. That shot from a mile away, and that one saved by Landoni.
And then Daryl Brink is the head coach of Milton, with Ryan Gallagher acting as the trainer, Lindsay McCodrum the manager, and Bob McCodrum helps out too. Austin Murphy and Justin McNair and Nathaniel Murray on that staff as well. So it takes a lot of help, a lot of dedicated people to run these teams, and And all these kids benefit so much from their time.
And they are volunteers, just like you and I, Mike. So
right. And
hats off to them.
And we talked about Glenn Juniper earlier, always in our thoughts all the time, but when we're in this booth, and Glenn put so much time into Rogers TV, but long before that, coaching lacrosse and hockey here in Owen Sound.
But now away come Milton. Shot saved again by Landoni.
What a burst of speed there by Tommy McCaudrum. But Landoni's, he's ready to close the door.
And now away comes Madden Ouellette. Ouellette gets it whacked away by Heward. Under a minute to go here in this one. Possession, though, back with the Mavericks.
So Milton, they're not going to win this one, but they can hold their heads high. The last game against these guys was 14-4. And I would say this was a closer match, and then a couple of goals late put the score not as flattering as it was at one time. But Milton puts up a good battle.
Possession, though, stays with Milton. Heward trying to get one more opportunity. 20 left here. Battling for it. That ball will roll into the corner, and that might do it. Ball loose. A lot of shirts there. It looks like CW will pick it up as CW is counting down the time, and that will do it as Broman has possession. And
how appropriate is that, Spencer, that it's in the stick of Broman to finish the game?
And that will do it as the helmets and sticks and gloves fly as the CW Riverhawks take the U9 Division medal 10-4 over the Milton Mavericks. We will have the medal ceremony after this, but Mike, what a game again for the Riverhawks. They are undefeated at the Father's Day tournament. They come away with the trophy and the prize of first place, and I think well deserved. Probably the best team here.
Yeah, they showed all game. Like anytime Milton started to push, got a couple of goals. The next shift, Center Wellington was able to answer that and put another goal on the board. So they didn't really give Milton that opportunity to really think we're coming back in this one. Having said that, Milton kept pushing and kept doing what they could. We saw it, a couple of shorthanded goals, then maybe an ill-timed penalty again, whatever it is. But there's no doubt that Center Wellington earned this victory, and their number one team from Center Wellington, really, true champions here at the Father's Day Classic.
Definitely true champions. Again, they will get their trophy and their medals after this. But again, we still got more lacrosse. This is game 1 of 5. We've got U11, U13, 15, and 17s coming up, but next will be the U11s. So again, CW well represented. They're in the next final as well, and maybe might come away with 4 gold medals. Yeah,
we'll see. Like, again, there's major strength in that community sporting-wise. I don't think it's any secret that, the senior lacrosse and the junior lacrosse there, too. These kids have things to aspire to, and they see that as a community focus. And that is very powerful in a community, right? When you see your uncles and your dads and your cousins, whatever, have played at those levels, and it's talked about around the kitchen table, and we can just see how that's continuing to build in Elora and in Fergus.
Definitely is. That'll be it here for us for the U9 final. Again, the Riverhawks of CW get the win